Welcome to OTD, also known as On the Deck. My name is Adam Arduda. This is my mom, Gina. It is once again just a beautiful, beautiful day outside, and we enjoy this weather because our show is outside. So we clearly enjoy it when the sun is out.
It's better than we were out here freezing in the snow.
We've been out here in the snow, so trust me, we love when the sun's out.
We do.
So for this show, we will be talking about the 2016 NBA playoffs.
Yes.
And so we've got that kicking off this weekend.
Yes.
We're really excited because we just had Kobe Bryant go on his last farewell tour. It was
off to go
a phenomenal finale.
Yes.
And so that's kicking us off going into the playoffs.
Yes.
The Golden State Warriors just got the all-time NBA record at 73-9. That is a fantastic achievement for them, and so we're really proud of them for doing that. And so now they've got the first round of the playoffs coming up against the Houston Rockets, which will be a very interesting matchup.
That will be a very interesting match, and I think it's a tricky one.
It is a tricky one.
Then on the eastern side, you've got the Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Cleveland. What did you say?
No, Cleveland.
I can't talk today.
It's hard. Cleveland Cavaliers. You got a lot of going on there. Yeah, you got the Jewish thing of that.
Why don't you just intro the segment? I'm just gonna sit back, relax.
So on the eastern side, we've got Cleveland getting ready to go up against Detroit. The Detroit Pistons, and so that will be an interesting matchup, as well as the Pistons have been an up-and-coming team this season.
They are good
so
young Thundercats.
It will be an interesting matchup, fun to watch.
So it's a great way to kick off the playoffs.
Absolutely.
It's a great way to put I will say this, the NBA should just be thrilled, because the way you end the regular season is with a team making history, 73-9, and one of the history-making players going out on a historic run. By the way, that 60 points by Kobe was the highest number of points of any NBA player all year. That's how you finish the regular season to kick off playoff season. Phenomenal.
Phenomenal. We just don't have words for that performance of Kobe Bryant. So with that, we're going to go ahead and transition to the playoffs, which is what this show is about this afternoon. Yeah, and so with the Golden State Warriors, kind of going back to the Western Conference, they're on a roll. They've got so many athletes and players on that team and on that roster. They are a complete championship style of team. Let me ask you, do you see them getting tripped up early in this first round against the Rockets?
Early? No. And here's what I'm going to say. With all due respect for the Rockets, I believe there's talent there. I'm a big James Harden fan. The problem is the cast of characters hasn't come together to make this a championship team. And basketball is a game of rhythm and cohesion. You got to know when I'm doing the no look, behind the back, behind the head pass, that my boy is coming with the trail. Right. You got to know that. And I feel like with Houston, I don't want to just say it's a one-man show, because that implies like James is selfish. He isn't. He's a great player.
Sure.
They just don't have the cast, and they definitely don't have the cast to hang with what's going on up in Oakland. You can just hang that up. So it's a no.
Well, to your point, Houston last year, this is a rematch of the actual Western Conference Finals from last year, and so it is going to be fun to watch because both of these teams have young players, exciting players. Dwight Howard, James Harden, Michael Beasley, Patrick Beverly, all of these players for Houston.
I did forget about my boy Michael Beasley getting picked up. That's a good pickup.
It's a good pickup.
Right, for playoff
But to your point, though, the Rockets haven't figured it out all season.
Right.
This is probably the most underachieving team next to maybe the Bulls in the NBA that have really just had a tough season.
Because I had the Bulls as my pick.
Well, and the Rockets fired Kevin McHale early in the season, and so now you have interim coach J.B. Bickerstaff, who's a really good coach in his own right, but it's hard trying to pick up the pieces. Yes.
And you know, I'm not saying a team can't come together in the finals,
right,
but when you're just now coming together, it's like our NCAA thing. They might get a game.
Sure.
They're not going to win that series.
Right.
So that's, and hey, I love you, Michael Beasley. K-State, EMAW all day.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I don't see it, no.
Well, and it's just been a tough season, and when you look at the Rockets, I see them maybe getting 1 or 2 games if they're at home or something like that, but I don't see them winning the series, and so the way Golden State's been playing, that's just probably going to go that way.
All right. So we got the Cavs and the Pistons. See, I'm just going to say Cavs.
There you go. Yeah, Cavs. It's too hard to do the full thing.
I'm going to say the exact same thing, but for different reasons about the Cavs and the Pistons. I'm calling this for the Cavs. I think the Pistons might get a game or 2. They are a young Thundercat team. Detroit is a scrappy town. I mean, they used to be them boys. I mean, they used to call them the Raiders. They'd call them the Detroit Raiders back in the day when it was Isaiah Thomas, and they were bad.
Oh yeah, the bad boys of Detroit. Yeah, the bad boys of Detroit. Yes.
Okay, clearly it's not. That's not this group of Pistons.
Right.
They don't have Lambeer out there literally punching people in the junk. You know, that's not who they are. But they are fiery and they play with passion and they play with heart. They just don't have the depth of talent. There's not enough coming off that bench to deal with what you've got across the court over there with Cleveland. I'm going to say Detroit might get a game. I don't think they'll be swept. I don't give them two, actually. I think they're going to get one game. I think it's Cleveland. And I don't want to call it easy because that's not fair and that's disrespectful to an NBA team, but it's Cleveland coming out of this first.
I couldn't agree with you more. Detroit's got a few players, Reggie Jackson and a few others, Andre Drummond. But ultimately, Cleveland's just going to be way too much for them to handle, and I just don't see Detroit probably coming away with that.
Did you see the bee that just flew past?
Well, again, we are outside, so there's bugs flying everywhere, and because it is becoming nicer, you're going to have a lot more of that. So we just have to be aware of that.
So if you jump up,
if you see us swat something, that's because there was something flying across our face.
Just wanted to acknowledge that.
Just
okay. Well, here's my question. Who do you think? Do you think there is a good chance of having a rematch of the Cavs and Golden State in the finals?
I do. I absolutely do. I think it's going to be a little bit tougher for the Golden State Warriors this year, just because everyone's really gunning for them. And I think that a lot of people had a problem with Golden State winning the championship last year due to the teams that they faced all were injured. I don't take this as a real thing or an issue, but a lot of people had problems with the fact that Golden State's run had a lot to do with the fact that the teams that they played weren't healthy. So with all of that being said, this is a brand new season and we're going to the playoffs right now and every team seems to be healthy. And so I'm not worried about Golden State. I just think that it's going to be a little bit harder for them this year because they will have a full roster full of teams.
Well, you and I are on the same page on that, and I'm all Team Golden State on that. That's such BS.
I agree.
I don't care if your team was injured. Half the team had the flu.
We were just talking about this.
Michael Jordan won a championship with the flu. That has nothing to do with it. And by the way, they won 73 games this year. Was everybody sick all year? Bullcrap. This is your number one team.
I totally agree.
I think part of my thing in this rematch, I hope it gets to be this rematch because I'm hard on LeBron. I get a little heat for that. I'm a big LeBron fan. I think there's a misnomer on that.
Sure.
Cleveland's issue is that he's got to step up. He's got to be the guy. We just watched, listen, I remember when Michael Jordan kind of handed off the reins and Kobe took him. Right. And the same night that Kobe played his last game, you got the Splash Brothers up there breaking the Bulls record. It was like this perfect circle.
Right.
Well, where in that mix was LeBron James? I think he has to get this championship, or I think there's going to be a lot of raised eyebrows about him being the greatest player on the planet, etc.
You raise a lot of really good points, and I really don't think you're wrong on any of those points at all. And I totally agree with you. I personally would like to see LeBron maybe do a little bit less. And what I mean by that is you're wearing way too many hats, LeBron. And what I mean by that as well is you can't be the all-star player and the head coach and the GM and the owner of the franchise. You need to be able to do maybe two of those things.
Right.
Be the franchise player and be a leader among your teammates. And those are the things that I didn't even say in those things that I mentioned about you wearing too many hats. I think that's really the biggest challenge is LeBron is just doing too much. And therefore, it's causing him to not play his best basketball because in the finals, in the playoffs, you've got to be playing your best basketball.
He shouldn't have to worry about anything but playing basketball.
Exactly.
You shouldn't have to be the player coach and try to bring home a championship.
I totally agree.
And you know what? Here's the problem for legacy. That's my concern. I heard someone, I'm not going to say his name, I'm not going to call out Skip Bayless, who basically was like, I'm laying down the challenge to LeBron James, where you at? Because you had the whole Kobe and Steph thing and it was beautiful.
Right.
In fairness to LeBron, I just think that he's got the Splash Brothers out there baptizing people in Oakland water. King James needs to get out that scepter, slap that crown back on your head. I mean, we literally watched the Black Mamba fly off with the cape flying out behind him.
Yes.
To say, here's my legacy.
His snakeskin cape.
Snakeskin cape. Yeah. And you got the Splash Brothers baptizing people in splash water. Come on, King James, let's go. Get your scepter out. And you know what? Darn all that other stuff. My son is right. Don't worry about anything else. You just be King James and bring home a championship.
Yes.
I'm still picking Golden State.
Well, no,
that's crazy. But I'm saying, LeBron, step up. You are the king. Let's go.
Well, and that's exactly to your point. We're just trying to elevate LeBron. At this point in time of your career, you're not going to have the next year, the next year, and the next year, and the next year to go out there and get it. You're now in the era of Steph and Curry and Golden State and those guys up there in Oakland. Yes. And so your opportunities are getting smaller and smaller by the day. And if you want to win a championship, you got to go out there and really take it. And I think you've got to start trusting the rest of your teammates. You got to trust Tyronn Lue. You got to trust J.R. Smith. You got to be able to trust Tristan Thompson and all these other guys to make the plays. And if it doesn't work out, then you have full reign to be like, all right, I may be going somewhere else, or I'm going to do something else. But until that happens, like you just said, you got to get the scepter out, still sit on your throne and say, no, I'm still right here. You got to come through me before you claim yourself the full champions of this league.
We all want to see it.
We do.
By the way, we're not LeBron haters. Let me be clear.
Absolutely not.
Not at all.
No, much love to the guy.
I'm super excited though. Playoffs
The NBA finals are going to be coming up here in the summer, but we've got the playoffs getting ready to start this weekend.
Right.
So we're excited. We're going to be tuning in, much like we did for the NCAA bracket. We'll be keeping you updated and keeping you posted.
Well, unlike the bracket, I'm not wrong.
We're not going to be doing any of that. Right, exactly. It's a lot more confined.
Time.
And we'll have better chances to make correct picks there. So we're excited for that. But yeah, we're just ready for this NBA playoffs to get started. And so, like we said, we'll keep you updated and posted as it continues on. But we want to say thank you for joining us on OTD today. And we're going to enjoy this beautiful weather and just continue to just keep you in the know on the sports world. We appreciate your time, folks. Thanks for watching. All right, that was pretty good. That was good. That was a good one.
I like that one.